So in last week's video, I discussed different ways to maintain neat semi-freeform locks. In that video, one of the ways that I told you that you could do that is by taking the frizz and wrapping it around the lock. So in today's video, I am going to be demonstrating just that. Let's get it. Welcome back to the Atreyu Locs channel. Hi, I'm Atreyu, a semi-freeformer who is dedicated to bringing you the best tips to grow a healthy set of locks. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. I am glad to have you. Let's just go right to the bathroom so that we can reduce some frizz. Alright, so let's get started. All you're gonna need is some distilled water. You can use rose water if you want. You can even use water from the tap. I like to use distilled water. Despite popular belief, you don't need products, Gorilla Glue and Elmer's glue. No, just kidding. No, but you don't need gel and all that. Waxes, souffles. All you need is water, alright? So, step one is to spray the lock. Spray the frizz. Okay. And then step two will be wherever you want to get rid of the frizz or minimize it, grab in that area so you guys can see this frizz right here. Okay. Grab that and then just wrap it around the lock. You can even twist the lock. But see how I still have some on between my fingers? And you're just gonna continue working down the lock, grabbing frizz. So basically you're binding this frizz with the frizz that's below it. So now I have those two pieces. And then just keep wrapping around. Wrap. And if it starts to get dry, which it might because friction, you're kind of rubbing the lock between your fingers and your fingers are absorbing the moisture, then feel free to re-wet it and just continue wrapping around. And you're going to see the part that you wrapped around the lock, it's shinier as it's wet. And you can just continue doing this for as far down as you need to go. Usually the oldest part of your locks is the most mature and therefore has the least amount of frizz because it's matted inside the lock. You know, it's matted into the lock, so usually you don't have to go all the way down to the tip, but that's how you do it. So you guys can probably see now that it's much less frizzy, right? Let's take another one just to make sure you got it. So if we look at this, you can see some frizz there, right? See all that frizz, especially down there? Yeah, let's do that one. So we'll spray it. You can rotate it so it gets the water all around the lock. You can even push it in, that's step one. And then step two is just to find a place on the lock, grab the frizz like that, and then just wrap it around. And as you work down the lock, grab the frizz that's below it and just continue wrapping down. Then once you get good, you can do it fast. Now it's gonna probably start to dry up a little bit between your fingers. So just wet it some more and resume. And the frizz into the lock. As long as there's frizz to grab, just keep wrapping, keep going further and further down. Alright, and then once again, you can see where there was a lot of frizz there. Look at that, it's all wrapped around, okay? Now, step three, you don't have to do this, but step three would be to palm roll to kind of seal it in, if you will, to make sure that it holds longer. Okay, so you can palm roll, and then you have less frizz. Okay, looks much less frizzier than it did, right? So you could adopt this approach, this method, to reduce frizz. This is especially good for semi-freeformers because we don't do retwists often, or whatever maintenance we use, interlocking, whatever. We don't do it often. But just because you don't do maintenance often doesn't mean that there's nothing that you can do to address the frizz if frizz bothers you. You guys know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I don't mind frizz. But because I know there are a lot of you out there who do mind the frizz, I make videos on how to reduce it. So on a given day when you're extra frizzy, maybe it's super humid, and maybe you have to go out somewhere and you're feeling self-conscious about the frizz, then you don't have to give yourself a retwist, but you can just do this method. Spraying the lock, grabbing the frizz, wrapping around to the tip or however far down you have to go depending on how old and mature your locks are. And then you will have an overall reduced amount of frizz on your locks. Hopefully this video has been of some help. If you guys are interested in hearing about my struggles with seborrheic dermatitis, definitely check out the end screen, as there will be a link to those videos. If you choose to love, do so unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. This is Atreyu Locs, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.